Yes, sir. Yeah, sir, we can start.
Can we start?
Sir, just one moment. Sir, you can start the presentation.
1 second. Can share? So, hold on. I can start. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And in the next 20 minutes, my topic will be the importance of topography in urban planning, a case study about Bangalore floods. Bangalore, once upon a time, is called City of Thousand Lakes. As we move on, the topography of Bangalore is undulating with a central ridge running north, northeast, and south, southwest. The highest point, Bangalore, happens to be Doddabettahalli, which is 962 meters above mean sea level. It's almost, we can call it as 3,000 feet above mean sea level. The city is a part of two sub-basins, which we call it as Kaveri and Ponayar. In the eastern part, rainwater runoff flows into Ponayar River sub-basin through Belandur and Vartur tanks, which are part of Koramangala and Chellagatta Valley and Hebbal Valley. In the western part, the runoff flows into the famous Kaveri River through its tributaries, the Vrishabhavati and Arkavati rivers. Numerous tanks have been built on this course that spill over eventually join the river. No major river runs through the city, though Arkavati circumvent Bangalore city in the north, northwest, west, and southwest before joining the Kaveri River or the Sangama. That shows the importance of the lakes in Bangalore. Tanks and lakes are thus the ecological system and play a crucial role in supporting life, including human habitation. How does a natural stream once upon a time in Bangalore used to look? If somebody questions, I have a historical photograph. This is how a natural stream used to look like. But today, what has happened? Bangalore lakes were designed in cascades from higher to lower elevations. As lake overflows, the excess water would flow into the next lake in the cascade. The highest being 962 meter, lowest is 860 meter. The length is about 22 kilometer. Almost you are talking about in every kilometer there is a fall of 4 to 5 meters. It's a quite steep terrain Bangalore has. In terms of graphical representation, somebody is going to talk about Bangalore. We have three major valley systems. We call it as Hebbal, Koramangal or Chellagatta, and lastly the Vrishabhavati. The lakes thus forms the chain of reservoirs in each of the three valley systems. Each valley, the ridge top, gives birth to small streams. The entire Bangalore is captured in this map. We have a Hebbal Valley, we have a Koramangala Valley, we have a Vrishabhavati. This Vrishabhavati comes to Kaveri, these two are Ponayar. In 1960, there were 262 water bodies in Bangalore, and today these have declined to about 81, out of which only 34 are recognized as live lakes. You can see the decrease in the lakes that is happening. In this map, you can see the amount of lakes that is available. Now, let me get into the important aspects of the Bangalore. Why today Bangalore is attracting people from across the globe? In terms of weather, probably one of the most soluble weather you find in Bangalore. Nucleus already there, as city is little more organized than many others. It can grow all around, unlike Chennai, Mumbai, and Calcutta, because we are not covered with sea on any side. Cities' growth has happened by science and new technology and service industry, and not by mass-based production. City is safe from majority of natural disaster factors like seismic, heavy cloudburst, away from friction zones, no insurgencies. City connects countries east-west and north-south corridors. City's general layout of the land provides scope for better aesthetics in development, and being closer to the good number of forest reserves can complement them by better planning of vegetation resources. City is surrounded by lakes and water bodies. Even though quite a good have vanished, there is scope to preserve the remaining ones and improve them. Awareness in Bangalore is greater than any other city, and the city has not reached an unruly level and still can be groomed into an ideal city. Successive governments have contributed somewhat better to bring an orderly development. Among them, BDA, that is Bangalore Development Authority, has done a good job in spite of its inherent problems. A quick show I will show you in the map, but it's very interesting to see. In this map, I'm showing this is a map which was compiled during 1970, Survey of India map, updated during 2000. I will get back to you on this one. This is what I was talking, one of the lake, what you see here. This lake leads to another lake. Now, this area, what you are seeing, the entire thing is the one which was affected worst recently. How it happened? We will see that now. What is flood? A flood is an overflow of water that submerges the land that is usually dry. What are the causes? Rainfall is almost always to blame and for the inland floods. Rain causes inland flooding in two ways. It can happen with steady rainfall over several days, or it can happen because of a short and intense period of rainfall. Another way inland flooding happens is when water gets blocked. If you look into it, Bangalore received a record amount of 131.6 millimeter rainfall on Sunday, making it the third highest single day rainfall the city has ever recorded. Previously 180 mm and 19, that was in 1988, and 132.3 mm in 2014. Now, if you look into the fury, the nature's fury on Bangalore, I can show you a few things, what exactly happened. This is the one of the it happens to be one of the sophisticated integrated township which is totally flooded, and you can see the people the way they are watching across over there. Now, I'll show you another interesting one, very important for architects and the planners. Look at this. This is called the most sophisticated IT park area, which is surrounded by roughly about, I can say, you name any information technology companies, they are having it across. Completely flooded. I was told the depth of the water on one particular time during this floods was almost as high as more than 22 feet. You can imagine 22 feet means what is the extent, the water. All the people in this villas have been moved to the 5-star hotel. They have stayed there more than 15 days. This is how the flood fury in Bangalore was observed. And virtually the guy is capturing some of the photographs, sitting in a boat and moving across over there. This is the, one can call it as the posh area in Bangalore. How it happened, whom to blame for it. Let me show you another one. This is a motorboat which was taken inside an integrated township for evacuating the people because they were stranded. There was no supply of the medicine and the foods to them. So people were picked up from each one of the so-called sophisticated villas and they were transported. So this is another photo that you are seeing across over there. So let me get into same thing. I'll make a little fast forward. You can get a view of this entire thing. Firefighters, the government employees were all deployed. Evacuation. See what's happened. One of the sophisticated integrated township. Filthy water mixed with sewage, garbage, and everything across. I want one more interesting one. You can see the approach to the IT parks, the business hub, the entire thing, how the flooding had taken place. Number of machines were deployed for taking out the water. In spite of that, it was a horrible situation. And still you can see at the backdrop, the construction is going at an exponential way. They are not bothered about these kinds of incidents. You can just see, this is an IT park, which I'm stopping there at the background. And you see this is an integrated township, an approach, whole thing. Bring it across over there. There's another IT park which has come up.
Sorry to excuse you.
Whole of the basement was flooded. They had 2 levels of basement that was flooded and no access quality. On to another one. You can get an aerial view. This was shot from a height of about 17 floors. Another integrated township, which was totally flooded. All the cars in the basement was flooded with water. So you can see how exactly the nature's fury is about. Another one. Well, I have plenty of data to talk about it across over there. So my only thing of showing these things is to show you what exactly these things mean to this one. Let's get into some facts about it. How this particular thing has happened, how the planners, if they had just taken a note of it across over there, they could have managed it in a beautiful way. Showed you a map. These are the 2 lakes what I was referring to it. One is Belandur and a Vartur lake. The corridor that you are going to see is the wetland that was available. You see the HL airport, the runway. The runway was intact. Not even 1 millimeter of the area was flooded. Means that gives a clear indication when you set up an airport or an integrated major infrastructure, you consider it. When it comes to the development of real estate, why these things are not considered? The entire area, what you see, this was 2003. Next, you see in 2005, small pockets of encroachment happening in that wetland. Again, let me move. 2005, densification has started because that has become the prime business hub now. In 2010, hardly you see the vacant lands in that area. How do you expect the flood to move on? In 2015, the entire thing is spread like a cancer. You see one cell, you have a cancer, it keeps spreading. 2015, 2020, you see 95% of the area. Virtually, you don't see any area which was earmarked for flood to pass through has been completely blocked. Now, if you move on from that, I will give you a statistics. It is evident from the above satellite imagery that, what is it? Oh, okay. Video didn't come. Huh? What to do?
Okay. Yeah.
Now?
Sir, the slides not changing.
This is one of the integrated towns which is totally flooded. You can see the entire basement. All the cars are swimming in the flood water. The next one, very interesting one. This is another sophisticated, integrated township with villas, high-end villas. Here I was told more than 22 feet depth of water. It all flooded the basement, the plinth, even it entered the ground floor. You can see the status, all high-end villas. You can see, just making a little fast forward. The people are traveling in the boat. Being evacuated, the boat. So the number of areas in this particular zone had standing water column varying between 8 to 20 feet. And you can see the boats playing around each of the cars and the buses. You can see still the construction activity is going in exponential manner. You can see the backdrop of some of the IT business hubs there. How it is, another IT hub. Another integrated township flooded. Yeah. So if I move on from here, only to say that it is evident from the above that the Bangalore corridors, especially between the lakes between Balandur and Vartur, was worst affected. Now, if you get into the simple concept, it's evident from the above satellite imagery that flood corridors between Balandur and Vartur has been encroached, and as per the principle of the Archimedes, the extent of encroachment is directly proportional to the extent of submergence, that is area and the height, that gives the volume. Let me tell you some statistics about it. 2003, we had 1591, same area, no flood problem. 2003, 793 acres of development happened. 2005, 980, 2010, 1127, 2015, 1391, 2020, 1528, and lastly, 2022, 1528. Now, if you look into it, the reduction that has taken place, we are left with only 3.96%. If 3.96% is the one, slides are not happening. Why? Which one? Yeah, what is this? Should get into that.
It will come here.
None of the things were coming.
I'm telling they're not.
Huh.
Can it stop once? Now, when you're going to share, no, select the window and share it. It will.
What do you want me to do now?
You select the which one you want to share.
Yeah.
Then you have to share manually. Yeah, now you're sharing.
Okay.
Your current window share.
So I hope now this is visible. So 2003, you had a corridor that is available between two lakes. In 2005, this corridor, you see virtually how the pockets of development is happening. In 2000, again the development started over there, density increased. Then 2015, almost the pocket is getting filled up. And in 2020, you see virtually occupying. Like as I said, it's like a cancer spreading. It's a simple principle of Archimedes that when you start filling up the area which is meant for the floods, what will happen? It will enter somewhere else. So finally, 2022, what you see, this corridor is supposed to be a beautiful flood prone or a wetland. Now that has become 100% filled up with so-called sophisticated information technology parks and the integrated townships. Now, if you're moving on to the mathematics of it, and where do you stand with respect to the statistics in terms of the data? As I said, before 2003, we had that area was 1591 acres, that's 100%, that's the Mother Valley architecture. In 2003, it was 798. There is a reduction, means there was a development of 793 acres. 2005, it increased to 980. 2010, 1127. 2015, 1391. And 2020, 1528. And lastly, in 2022, 1528. Means from an area of 100% which was meant for the floods, it has now been shrunk or reduced to 3.96%. So what is going to happen? The answer is very simple from this. To say Bangalore floods are man-made is like assigning all powers to man who has such a little power to do good, or for that matter, bad to gift and fury of nature. Yes, he can be a nuisance value. Going through history, we come across deluges, floods and submergence, etc. Mighty fortresses have gone under the water. That was before this wicked man. Example, Dwarka in Gujarat. Yes, whether our decision makers and greedy people have not contributed to the calamity? Yes, indeed, they did, and it is substantial and irreparable. Bangalore, by virtue of its beautiful topography, could have saved itself to a great extent had our planners taken note of topography and had made better forecasts of how the city would grow once Karnataka was united. The world is growing, and few cities have been planned with care and passion. We should have consulted and braced against that, and should have used the growing GDP that comes with it as a dividend. The government should have planned wider and broader development plans, which invariably needs larger land acquisition. But the lopsided and inefficient land acquisition policies did not allow this to happen. Aktilva? Folder. Desktop. Get back. Desktop.
Video. Presentation. Share and directly.
ಇದಾ ಇದಾ
Yes. Select ಮಾಡಿ just share and
videos? They should start from the beginning. Huh? From where should I start? You can see this?
Yes.
Where should I start from the beginning? I have no idea. Hello, Guru.
Slide. You are in the second class. Excuse me, sir.
Where should I get back to the
Screen as of now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so we now
Play ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
Currently, they are watching this window. Want to
individual technical
other
sessions and then
have to go through